Sige. So, good afternoon, Rommel. It's
Good
nice to
afternoon.
see you in Cebu.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, Michael and viewers and Joey. Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for feeding me a very big and delicious lunch.
Yes. I
In
hope
the,
you enjoyed it.
oh yeah, I think it's the best. I'll endorse it. It's the best Spanish food I've tried in Cebu. Ipars.
Yeah.
Sarap. Galing. So my only problem now is, yun nga, malaki yung chan ko ngayon, Joey.
So, anyway, speaking of Cebu, what brings you here and how are things so far with the family,
Well,
with business?
a lot of things are happening. Of course, after the pandemic, we're back to normal, no? And well, right now I'm wearing my Centro hat. I wear a lot of hats. I'm here. Actually, I'm here for the Coral T. So I played in the Coral T tournament, and I'm here with my brother, who's also playing, our president of Centro. And yeah, here to visit customers and friends, no? And yeah, that's why I reached out to you also that I'm here. Diba? But you know, we've been planning this for such a long time, and
Yeah.
actually, I have to say I'm very excited because this is my first podcast guesting.
And I'm grateful to have you on.
And
as a guest.
this is entirely new to me. No, as I was telling you, I don't watch a lot of podcasts, but for some reason, your podcast somehow pops up in my Facebook. So I guess the analytics of Facebook is targeting me or people like me for your podcast. So I'm excited to see myself in your podcast.
Okay. So maybe we can start off with electric vehicles because I understand for a time you served as president of EVAP.
Yeah.
How did that come about and how are electric vehicles presently? What's the outlook
Okay.
in the Philippines?
That whole thing, okay, now I wear my EVAP hat. That whole thing started in 2010, no? 2009 actually. Well, no, it started 2008 kasi there was this launch of an electric jeepney in the city of Makati. It's an NGO called ICTSI, Institute of Climate Sustainable Cities. No? ICS. Anyway. And then they were all over the news that they're launching an electric jeepney in Makati. No? I'm part of the Parts Maker Association of the Philippines. We make automotive parts locally. So when we saw this, sabi namin, hey wait, this is a jeepney. But we noticed it was made in China. So we said, hey, if this is going to be launched in the Philippines, that's a jeepney is a Filipino icon. It should be made in the Philippines. So we called them, cold call lang, we called the NGO. And it's an NGO that's funded by a Dutch foundation also. And they're all Greenpeace members. No? So, kinausap namin, sabi na, hey, can we offer? And then they agreed, no? So we sourced a powertrain and then we built an electric jeepney for them. And then we launched it in Makati in 2009, I think. And then they ordered like 10 units from us. So we started making electric jeepneys. We were pioneers actually. We were the first ones. And we built a company called PHUV. It's the Philippine Utility Vehicle. I'm partnered with Ferdy Raquel Santos, who's with Autofear, they make seat belts. John Lee, who's Nito Seki, who supplies automotive parts also. Manly Plastics, Vicco, they provide plastic for automotives. And us, no? MD Juan. We make Jeep parts. No? So, yun, we started with that. And then sabi namin, you know, it can't be just, you know, for money. It can't be just us pioneering this. We have to create a movement, we said. So we created the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. So EVAP. No? We were laughing pa nga na EVAP o baka pagtagal niya maging kondensada na yan. And you know, early adapters yan. So we had members who joined also, si Tojo Motors and some charging stations, battery suppliers. Motolite was a member. Meralco helped us. So, a lot of support naman. But it was really, really small. It was really, really small before. And then yun, we did that, slowly. But we were like shouting in the wilderness. We did a lot of PR and everything. Pero it wasn't really catching on, no? Kasi wala tayong subsidies eh. We don't have subsidies from the government and everything. So we went to Congress, we went to the Senate, the very first guy who sponsored the electric vehicle bill was Senator Ralph Recto. And actually, it was Congressman Mark Villar at that time who sponsored it with the Congress. Doon nag-umpisa yan. And then after that, Bam Aquino also helped us. And then other senators also, Win Gatchalian helped us. So yun, EVAP. And then you know what? Thailanders visited and they saw what EVAP was doing. They put up their own also. EVAT naman. Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand.
So that's a separate group.
It's a separate group. So they were inspired by EVAP, so they made their own association from Thailand naman.
But whose vision was EVAP? Who really took charge?
It's
and really
us.
decided?
It's us. It's the core of PHUV. Si Ferdy, ako, si John Lee, si Vicco. But from the start, I was really toying with that idea. Let's set up an association. No? Kasi nga, we all came together with an association also, the Parts Manufacturers Association. And dami naming activities with that also. So yun, and then, kawawa naman. And
okay
then,
lang, yeah. Go on.
Pag Buddhist, bawal yan. Anyway, and then we encouraged Singapore to put out their own EVAS also, the Electric Vehicle Association of Singapore. And then we found a friend in Malaysia, he put up EVAM, Electric Vehicle Association of Malaysia. We're joking nga, sabi namin, masama yan pag sama pakinggan pag Cambodia magtayo. EVAC. But anyway, so we set up a federation pa of all the associations. So we set up an ASEAN Federation of Electric Vehicle Associations. So we're all a big group now. No? And actually this year will be the first parang international electric vehicle summit talaga. This will be in October 19 to 21. You're invited, of course.
Yes,
I know you're a very big proponent of electric vehicles. For those of you who don't know, it's Michael's Nissan who first introduced the Nissan Leaf.
Yeah.
Talaga. No?
We were actually the pioneer of Nissan EVs.
Yeah,
we
Nissan
wanted to be
EVs.
the first, and of course we wanted to put it in place, understanding that it's inevitable in the future that all these models will come in. So we invested in our charging stations, of course, and soon with our other brands,
Yeah.
we're looking into more EVs.
Congratulations on the launch of your ice cream EV.
Yes,
Also.
We have high hopes for that, considering the price positioning, because there's usually a general impression that electric vehicles are quite expensive, but things are also looking better because
Yeah.
of the support with no more tariffs, so prices are going down, as well as the chargers prices are also going down. So we're optimistic about venturing more into EVs, since ever since, of course, there's been reluctance
Yeah.
with the general consumer, but now we're in a good position.
It's good, and that's why I like talking to you. I guess we have the same
Yeah,
mindset.
we're
no?
quite aligned. in
Yeah,
that
we're
regard.
aligned. And it's nice that it's gaining more traction now. And as you're right, as you said, it's inevitable. All over the world. Of course, China is the leader right now.
Yes.
China has the most electric vehicles in the world. Second is the whole of Europe. The US is actually far third, no? And still leading with them is Tesla, no?
Yeah.
But now all the big ones are also catching up, no? Ford, GM, they're trying to introduce their electric vehicles as well. But when it comes to the Philippines, kami naman, our push was more for electric vehicle public transport.
So the trikes, the jeepneys.
The jeepneys and the trikes, the electric tricycles. Because we want local manufacturing. That's really one of our advocacies also, local manufacturing. So sabi namin, the big brands, the big car companies, they will all eventually introduce electric vehicles. Pero ang niche natin sa Pilipinas will be the public transport because, the demand is not so great outside of the Philippines. So we can actually do it here. Parang ganyan. We can localize it. So we pushed it. And actually, there was a big push in mga 2012, 2013 with the electric tricycles that ADB funded. No? Mm-hmm. And there's a company also, our member also, BMAC, and they were partnered with Almazora, I think. Yeah, and they introduced a very high quality electric tricycle. No? And they actually won the bidding for ADB. And they produced about 3,000 of those electric tricycles. It was a long story also, some entanglements because of government policies and everything. Eventually, the Department of Energy distributed it in the LGUs around the Philippines. So okay na rin. Like, if you go to Boracay is one success story for electric
that's
vehicles.
Where we met. And I
That's
remember
where we met.
The mayor was there and he was proud to announce that all the trikes were already fully electric.
Yes, and it's only Boracay that can boast that all their tricycles are electric. So Boracay, you have to commend the mayor. He's really had the foresight and the vision, and he implemented it. Although, of course, the reason I was in Boracay because we were golfing with Najima-san.
So, two birds with one stone. So, for golf.
Najima-san, hello. We miss you from India. Regards from Michael.
Regards.
But anyway, so yun. And then we actually also pushed for the PUV modernization. So it was our group also, yun, Parts Makers Association and EVAP also, even the Body Makers Association. We pushed for the jeepney modernization program. And actually, to give credit where credit is due, I think it was the Duterte administration who really was able to implement it because, he was very, very decisive. And he said, okay, we need to improve the public transport. And as you know, all our jeepneys are all 30 years old, 20 years old na running, and they're very unsafe. They're very inefficient.
Outdated.
Obsolete. And they're not very comfortable for the riding public, diba? So, we pushed for that and he was able to implement that also. So, a lot of things have happened already since we started all of this. And I guess the biggest success pa rin of EVAP was when the EVIDA law, the EV bill, was passed last year.
That was a breakthrough. No?
That was a breakthrough talaga. Because with that, it was signed by our president also this January lang. Yung the perks talaga, the no more tariff, the no more excise tax.
So overwhelming support also from this present administration.
I think the present administration is very, very pro-environment. So that's good for us. That's good for everybody. No? Yun, parang there's a spark now, di ba? I guess you noticed there's a spark for electric vehicles. And then we saw it last year because the EV Summit was the most successful that we've ever had. I have to give credit to our current president. I was president of EVAP for 10 years, no? Because nobody else could be. But we have a member, si Edmond Araga, he was with Kea. They make electric tricycles as well. They launched electric tricycles in Bacoor, Cavite. A lot of units there. And he became president, I think, 4 years ago. And since then, talagang gumalaw na. No? Because he's very diligent, he's very focused, more than me. No? So, he pushed it. So, I think that's why our EV Summit was very successful, and that's why the bill also got passed faster.
So there had only been 2 presidents of EVAP,
Yeah.
You and
Edmond
Araga.
Yeah. You interviewed Edmond na, di ba?
Yes, but it was just a brief talk. Maybe
Edmond, pa-interview ka uli.
Yeah.
Si Edmond
Set up a longer
actually
one.
knows a lot more now about everything happening in the EV industry than me, no? But of course, I'm there. I vowed this year, sabi ko, Edmond, tutulong ako this year.
Is there a duration for your time as
It's
president?
it's
So you were president for 10 years. So what made you stop or may
we
limit ba
voted
yun?
naman. May voting kami.
Okay.
So may voting among the members is general membership meeting, and then you vote a board, and the board will vote the new officers. Ganun yung nangyayari. So very collegial naman.
What about in terms of infrastructure? Because that's always the concern.
I'm glad to
Public
report.
has.
I'm glad to report that we have a lot of members who are also into charging stations right now. So, ang dami. I failed to mention all of the brands, no? Pero they're here already and they're all setting up. I saw that you have a charger here also.
Yes. We set up charging stations in our major dealerships.
Okay, so yeah. So I think it'll come. It'll come. It's really gonna come. And the future, I think, is very bright, and I don't know, maybe scary also with artificial intelligence. Pero yung sa electric vehicles, it can only be good, no? Especially it can stabilize the grid, it can supply power to your house. I mean, we can finally have carbon neutral
Sustainable. in the
sustainable future. I mean, you can put up, I mean, I know during the pandemic a lot of people put solar panels in their houses, no? Our chairman emeritus Ferdy Raquel Santos actually installs solar panels. So he installed in my house. So I'm thinking, sipin mo, kung meron ka ng solar panel and then you charge your car with the power from the sun, edi you're off the grid, no?
Yeah, and we're actually quite happy also because we're a multi-brand car dealership group. So with the brands we carry, most have announced the interest to carry electric vehicles. So like Mitsubishi, Chery, we just launched Hyundai also. So
Yeah,
we also have a charging station.
And they're all members of EVAP, ha? Congratulations to Hyundai, Kia, Mitsubishi.
So great things ahead.
Yeah.